Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It is time to choose our December TBR. This is the last TBR of the year. Please, let's just take a moment for that because I can't quite believe it. Like, we are on the last TBR of the year. I feel like this year I have read so many good books, I've had so many great TBRs, and I've never kind of made TBRs before this year. It's kind of been the first time that I've sort of set myself monthly TBRs, and I do really love doing it. I enjoy it. So I feel like you pick books that you probably wasn't going to read for a while and then end up enjoying. You get to pick a variety of books, and it's also just really satisfying for my brain personally to sort of go through the month ticking off the TBR. I think it's just because I'm like type A, and I just find that really satisfying to like go through and be like, tick, I've read that one, tick, I've read that one. And yeah, I love it. I don't think I'll ever go back to not doing TBR. Currently, I have been in the biggest reading slump ever. Uni work in general, life has just hit me like, I don't know. It's just hit me, and I've just been struggling to read. I've been struggling to find that like desire to pick up a book. I've been struggling to find the time to pick up a book, and I feel like my brain's always kind of going a mile a minute, and when I try to sit down to read, I can't focus on the book because I'm thinking about all the other stuff I have to do. And it's been rough out here. Is anyone else in the same boat as me? Is anyone else feeling like this October to December reading slump? Because it's horrible, and yeah, it's pretty rough. I just really want to pick up a book and just sit down and read it and just get into it and enjoy it, because I love reading so much, and reading slumps are not the vibe. They are not the vibe. I can't wait for Christmas break. I'm going to rejuvenate. I'm going to read so many good books. I want to break out of the reading slump, because if you guys have been kind of wondering where the reading wrap-ups have been, it's because the reading wrap-ups would be about one book long, and I just feel like that's not that entertaining. From November's TBR, I read 2 books. I read Air of Fire and The Girls by Emma Cline. Hopefully I read more this month. Not that 2 is a bad number, it's not, but just compared to what I normally read, it's quite a big. This month's TBR video is going to be in the same format as last month's, which is where I kind of put the pictures up and do the random number generator type thing, because I sadly don't have my TBR cart or my TBR jar with me today. They are still over in my uni room, but this is the last video where it's going to be this format in terms of TBRs. From next month onwards, the TBR cart is going to be back, the TBR jar is going to be back. I'm bringing them back here, and we can resume filming how I normally do them. I feel like I do want to apologise for the format that they've been in. It's not been something I've wanted to do or put out there, but it's just I'm working with what I've got, and I hope that they're not boring. I hope that they're not as less entertaining, because obviously we've not got the physical thing here with me, but I just wanted to still get a TBR video out for you guys, so I hope that it's okay. I hope that it's not too bad. But yeah, from next month onwards, hang in there, because we're going to have the TBR cart back, and it's going to be back to TBR jar videos as normal, which I'm so excited. So without further ado, let's get into picking December's TBR. So if you didn't watch last month's TBR, I'm going to pop 2 pictures up on the screen, and this is my physical TBR. Then we're going to spin our random number generator, and whatever number we get, we're going to count down from the top of the pile, and wherever we land on the pile, that is the book that I am going to be adding to my TBR. I'm going to pick 6 books. And also, along with the numbers on the generator this month, I am going to add in some little prompts like Christmas book or choose a Kindle read and like things like that, just to kind of allow myself to maybe pick some Christmas books, because I don't actually own any, which is kind of crazy. Okay, let's spin for book number 1 on this TBR. I hope that we don't get a super summary one, because I feel like there is quite a few summary books on my TBR. That would not be ideal. Okay, we've got 24, which I actually have colour-coded TBR piles. So this is from like the dark pile, which I feel like is better, because that means it's not going to be super summary, which we don't want in this. Okay, so number 24 is Crooked Kingdom. This I did not expect to get, because I feel like I bought this book, but I never actually had the intention of kind of reading it, which Wait, is Crooked Kingdom the second one or the first? I feel like it's the second one. I think it's the second one. Okay, maybe I'll just do this one as like read the first one, which is, what is the first one called? Of course, it's Six of Crows, and then Crooked Kingdom is the second book. Sorry about the confusion there. So basically I'm just gonna switch it and say that I got Six of Crows, because obviously I'm not gonna read the second one. So kind of did not expect to ever really get around to this series. I don't really know why I bought it. I just kind of bought it because I was in the works and I had like just wanting to buy like another book, you know what I mean? So I just kind of picked this duo. I never actually had the intention of like seeing in the future when I was going to read it, but I feel like it does match this kind of time of year. It feels like quite a wintry, cozy fantasy read. Not cozy fantasy, but like it feels like it would be set in this type of climate, you know? So I am very excited for this one. From what I know right off the bat without looking it up, it's about a group of sort of thieves, I think, like a band of criminals or young criminals, and they try to commit a heist. I'll fact check that because I don't think that I have like heard Sarah Caroli rave about this book series and she loves it, so I'm sure it's going to be a fun time. But it's just kind of one of those ones that I've never really felt like, oh, I really want to read that book right now. It's definitely not the most anticipated series on my TBR, and I kind of just, it's just there, you know? Does anyone else have those series? Okay, so it follows our main male character Kaz, who is offered a really large sum to commit this heist, and it will make him super rich, and he's kind of like a criminal, so he's like, sign me up immediately. And then I think like, is it a competition between all different criminals, or they all work together to kind of reach this end goal of becoming rich? I think it says a convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith, a heartrender using her magic to survive the slums, a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. That sounds really interesting actually. And it says 6 dangerous outcasts, 1 impossible heist. Kaz's crew is the only thing that might stand between the world and destruction if they don't kill each other first. Okay, so they're actually working together. That's what I kind of thought at first. It's like a band of criminals and they're trying to reach this end goal. That actually sounds way more fun and interesting than I originally thought, and I'm very excited to get stuck into that and read it. If you have read it, please try convince me more in the comments, because I don't know why, but there's just this kind of like block with me in that book that I'm just like, I'm not fully looking forward to it for some reason. I feel like it's because I've heard a few people say it's quite complex or something, and I'm a little bit scared about that, especially right now, being in, you know, the stages of coming out of a reading slump. I feel like that might put me back into the reading slump if I read that first. On to book number 2. Okay, there's a few, I really want to get like one of the prompts that I've put in instead of a number. Maybe we'll get that. Oh, we nearly got that. We didn't get it. Okay, we have got number 6. So let's count down on the piles and see where that takes us. So it's on the nice colourful pile. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is with this today? I've got another book from a series, but I'm not up to this book, so I'm gonna have to switch it out and read the second book, because I can't read number 4 when I'm on to number 2. So we'll just switch that. I think it's I believe that is the second one. This is the Briar U series. Okay, so I'm just gonna switch these, and book number 2 is gonna be The Risk by Elle Kennedy. Now, if you know, you know, there is the off-campus series, and then there is the Briar U series, and you are, I feel like, traditionally supposed to read the off-campus series first, but I didn't. I started with the Briar U series, so I read the first one a few months ago, and I feel like this book has been in every TBR since, and I've still not read it. I've still not read The Risk, and at this point it's getting a little bit embarrassing. Like, if I don't read it this month, then will I ever read it? I actually. However, I feel like it is kind of perfect for December, because it's like ice hockey, ice skating, college, like the ice vibe gives me December. I think it's just because it's cold, but I will get to this one this month. Like, I'm making it a priority read. I will read this book this month, because if I do not, then I actually just think I need to get rid of the Briar U series, if not, because when am I gonna? This one follows the best friend of the female main character from the first book, and it's kind of like her and the love interest is the rival team's captain or something like that, I think. And obviously our female main character is the coach's from like Briar University. She's the coach's daughter, so it's like coach's daughter with rival team, which seems very chaotic and also very dramatic and like drama filled, but also very interesting. And I love Elle Kennedy's writing. It literally feels like you're using no brain power, but in the best way possible. It feels like you're kind of watching a reality TV show instead of actively reading words on a page, and I love that. It feels so immersive because I'm not thinking about what I'm reading, I'm just sat down, relaxing, reading, and I need that right now. Okay, let's spin for number 3. Oh, we was one off of getting a prompt. We've just got number 5, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we've got The Girl Beneath the Sea by Axie O. Now this one I got from Vinted a few months ago, because Vinted honestly is one of the best places to get books from. The real ones know. And this kind of I mainly purchased because of the cover. The cover is absolutely gorgeous, but the actual story itself does also seem very interesting. It's basically about a small town that kind of gets plagued with this massive flood, and they once thought that the sea god protected them, but now they think that he's actually cursing the village. So in order to kind of satisfy this sea god and make him stop cursing the town, they sacrifice a beautiful young girl every year and give her to the sea god, I think, and send her down into his like kingdom. And this is meant to kind of be like each year they're sending a potential bride down to him to see if that bride will be the true bride and will sort out their problem. So each year they send a new girl down to figure out who this true bride is. So then we've got our main female character Mina, and she sacrifices herself on behalf of her brother's like love, I guess, and she throws herself into the sea in that girl's place and says, "Take me, I'll be the sea bride." And the book follows Mina's journey to the kingdom and trying to fix this problem that the town's having, sort everything out with the sea god. And I just feel like that sounds really interesting. It is a young adult fantasy mythology retelling, and I think the whole story sounds very, very interesting and very, very, I don't know, just kind of like, I feel like it would keep you on the edge of your seat, you know? And it's only a little short one, so surely that's manageable. That's kind of ideal for coming out of a reading slump, like getting the short books. So I'm excited to give that one a go. Okay, book number 4, let's spin. We have got 17. Let's count where that takes us to. I've just counted. It takes us to Jane Eyre. I never really know how to pronounce the second name. By Charlotte. This one is a gothic classic, and I feel like everyone has read this but me at this point. I have a mixed relationship with classics. Sometimes I really enjoy them, sometimes I hate them and I'm so bored, which sounds so mean, but it's just the truth. So the only classic that I have really ever felt like, wow, this is a 5-star, I still think about it to this day. I love it, I love the vibe, I love the whole story. I would reread it again and again and again. The only one I've ever felt like that with is Wuthering Heights, which is a gothic fantasy, sorry, not fantasy, a gothic classic as well. So I'm thinking maybe I just kind of prefer the gothic classics to regular classics, because I have tried Jane Austen. I just don't enjoy her writing. I don't enjoy the stories. I think they're all kind of the same in a way, which may be so mean, but I just think I've just not clicked with her writing, and I'd much prefer the Bronte sisters. So I'm very excited to get around to this one. And I'm actually like not sure at all what it's about. So it's the story of an orphan who's Jane, and she grows up in the home of her aunt, who is Hart. So she's had a troubled childhood. She finds employment as a governess to Mr. Rochester, and she develops feelings for Rochester and gradually uncovers Thornfield Hall's terrible secret. forcing her to make a choice. Should she stay with Rochester and live with the consequences, or follow her convictions, even if it means leaving the man she... That sounds quite the story, and I feel like it'll be very, very good. I love to annotate classics as well, so I'm interested in that one. I also read Wuthering Heights around this time of year. I want to say like 2 years ago now, so it's kind of giving me like the nostalgic feel of when I read that, and I had like a good playlist on, and I had my highlighters, and I was highlighting like my favourite quotes and tabbing them, so I'm excited to do that again with this book. And it's also been on my radar for years, so it's about time I get around to it. Second to last, that's been for number 5. We've still not had a prompt, and we've still not got one this time. Perfect. We've got number 8. Let's count and see where that takes us. We've got The Outsider by Stephen again. I thought I'd avoid this one. I didn't read it last month. It was on last month's TBR. I just didn't get around to it, to be honest. There's just no excuse really. I just didn't want to read it, and I kind of don't want to now. I don't know why. It's just I'm not in the mood for that kind of book. I'm not in the mood for like a thriller right now. So it's quite like a chunky one. I feel like the font is always quite small in Stephen King's books, so maybe I'll get to this one, but like, as you can gauge from my reaction, I probably won't. We'll put it on the TBR just out of respect. Yeah, I did get it last month, didn't read it, got it this month, probably won't read it. So I feel like I maybe need to do an unhaul at some point and just unhaul some books, because if I'm not really in the mood to read them, like, why are they on my TBR at the end of the day? But regardless, if you didn't catch my like explanation of what The Outsider is about last month, then I'll explain it again now. It is actually a very interesting plot, which that's why I don't get why I'm not reaching for it. But the plot basically follows a man who has been convicted of murder, and he is like the townsman. Everyone loves him. He's very like happy. He's very well known as being this nice guy in the town. And then a body is found, and he is convicted as the murderer, and all the clues point towards him actually being the murderer, so there's not really any escape for him, and you're kind of trying to figure out what is going on. Like, why is this man being convicted? Why do all the clues lead to him, but he's saying he didn't do it? And you're kind of trying to figure out what's going on, and to this day I still want to know what's happened. I want to know who the true murderer is, or if it's him. I don't know. I want to know all the ins and outs, but I can't bring myself to pick that book up. If you have read it, please try persuade me in the comments, because I do want to read it, but at the same time I'm not leaning towards it. And finally, let's spin for number 6. We've not got a prompt. We just didn't get any prompts today. We've got number 10. Okay, let's see what number 10 is. Ooh, we've got The Nightingale by Kristen Hannah. I can get behind this option. I'm so excited to read this book. Like, this reaction compared to the last reaction, pretty different, but I'm so excited to read this book. Like, I can't even describe the amount of praise I have heard for Kristen Hannah, and yet I have still never read one of her books. Is crazy. I need to read one. I think this one has been on a TBR before, but obviously with the reading slump and all the uni work, I've just not had time. However, I have heard that this one is a bit of a tearjerker, and it's quite emotional, quite sad. So I believe it's set in the war, and it follows 2 sisters and their journeys throughout the war. I don't really want to spoil too much for myself, but it is meant to be quite an emotional piece of... What am I on about? It's quite an emotional book, and it's also a historical fiction book, and I love history, so that's obviously a tick from me. I love that. I always find it very interesting to learn about different time periods, and yeah, I've just heard an unbelievable amount of praise for Kristen Hannah, and if that doesn't convince you to read one of her books, then I don't know what will, because everyone seems to be loving them, and it's about time that I gave one a go, because there's so many that she's written I would like to get around to. Like, I would really like to read Firefly Lane, because I watched the series of that, loved it, and I really want to read the book. and also The Four Winds I would like to read. The Women I would like to read. I love history, so she's kind of the perfect author for me, really. But yeah, they are the 6 books that I will be reading on December's TBR. We didn't get any Christmas books today, but don't worry, I will be definitely picking up some Christmas books. I'm going to do a week of reading Christmas books, so stay tuned for that. Very excited for them. We'll just do a quick run through of all the books that we got. So we got number 1, Six of Crows, number 2, The Ring, number 3, The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, number 4, The Outsider, I think I've missed one, number 5, Jane Eyre, and number 6, The Nightingale. So we've got a good TBR going on there. Hopefully I will read them all this month, but I do want to get some Christmassy books in, so who knows. But definitely stay tuned for some Christmassy reading content, because there's so many fun Christmas books I would like to read this month. Hope that you all have a great reading month in the month of December. Hope you read some cute Christmassy books and you get cozy and you find some time to relax and to read. Let me know what's on your TBR, I would love to know. Thank you for watching today. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.